Hmm. And I suppose just on that as well, is there going to be an opportunity, for the everyday person to be able to help AgUnity? Will there be crowdfunding opportunities in the future, or is it just for investors?
No, we did look at doing a crowdfunding last year, and it was very unfortunate timing. It ran right into the bushfires, and then COVID
Yeah.
started, and so we stalled it, and then we stalled it again, and then we just went straight to investors. So we were trying to do that, and specifically for that reason, to allow everyday people to invest in AgUnity. But natural disasters and things, we got our timing back.
Yeah. It has certainly
I
been a
also,
year, hasn't it? It is.
oh yeah. It's interesting. You look back on this year and you can hardly remember the bushfires, and it was one of the greatest disasters in Australia. It's been a long year. Late last year we were looking at that, and it got stalled, and then we went the normal path. And I think though AgUnity will ultimately, it's a great story for a public company. And my previous companies were both acquired. I would normally, as a founder, assume that a trade sale or something like that's the exit. I think AgUnity is something we want to continue forever, and I think it makes a good ongoing public company. So I'm hoping that in a number of years we'll be publicly listed somewhere and allow people to participate. We do need to look for another mechanism where people can participate, and we are working on a few models for that. And one in particular, I think it's more important than, we'll get investment, we're fine. What's actually more important is investing in some of the communities we work with. And there are genuinely good opportunities, like in coca industry, for example, there's lots of small villages that if they set up a bit of a processing facility, they could get much higher prices for their coca, and they often only need like $5,000 to $10,000 to set up some drying facilities, some fermentation boxes, and a shipping container to put it in, and that village can roughly double their income. And pay back a loan from someone or a co-investment and stuff. So one of the things we've been trying to facilitate, and we've been looking at a couple of mechanisms to do this, is a way that people can use our network of farmers to make direct investments into communities that are much more hands-on than you would ever be able to do through any organisation. So that's one thing we're hoping to start to be able to facilitate within 2021. It's quite complicated to do it, but there's a few means we can do that.
Okay, no, that's really good to hear. I'm sure, definitely bad timing at the start of this year, but it's such a good story and such a good mission that I'm sure the crowd will get behind you. And I think more people will want to help for sure.
I'd very much encourage, it's very worth following what we're doing, because we do see these opportunities like the village and stuff. And it's just great to follow it. Like whether you're investing or not or participating now, it's just really interesting to see what can be done, because it gives people a new insight. And it's easy when you're in a developed country to be dismissive of the people in poverty as, they're taking money from society. They can change their own situation very quickly and easily. And by understanding how quickly that can be changed, it gives people a lot more empathy to their situation, that they're just a little bit far from it. But more importantly than that, when you take a person from abject poverty to having a slight surplus, they're also contributing to the global economy. They're making things better for everyone else in the world. They're making better coffee, better chocolate. There's actual benefits to us in the long term from seeing people change, seeing people at the bottom of the pyramid changing their lives for the better. They're no longer a drag of society. We're no longer, AusAid no longer needs to give money to New Guinea, because New Guinea's actually got a thriving agricultural economy, which I genuinely think they can do in the next few years.